What's up, beautiful people? Today is the day. Today we are heading to Chernobyl.
Yeah, we are.
And I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting experience. We're just heading down to the square now to meet the rest of the tour group, and then I believe it's about a 2-hour drive. Good morning.
My name is Anya. Easy to remember. Don't lose me today, okay? I'm small. Easy to lose. So, let's go to Chernobyl. You can see that in the city center of Kiev we have 0.13 microsieverts per hour. Microsieverts. During this trip we will compare these differences in the Chernobyl.
First checkpoint, and we are now in the exclusion zone. It's gonna be a warm one because you have to wear long trousers, closed shoes and long sleeves. There's some homeless dogs about, but we are currently in one of the villages that's in the exclusion zone that was evacuated back in May 1986 after the explosion in April 1986. Everyone on the tour is given a little device that you wear around your neck while you walk around and while you're on the tour. This tracks how much radiation you receive, and so that they can tell if you've had too much while you've been in the exclusion zone. This is one of the buildings of the village. As you can see, nature's almost reclaiming the land of the village, as it hasn't been inhabited for 33 years now. Like an old deli stand, loads of broken glass and debris all over the floor. Pretty insane. So what's this, Han? Every Soviet village had to have one. There's a library just through here. Pretty mad. And then this is the concert hall. Literally massive gaping holes in the floor. So you have to be super careful when walking through all of it.
So, my dear friends, in front of you, who knows this model of this cooking? Of course, Lada. The name of this model, Lada, the first Soviet car, the most popular car. The price of this car was 5,000 rubles. Average salary of the Soviet people was 120 rubles, average salary. So, first of all, you have to calculate, you have to collect the money. The second step, you have 5,000 rubles. Actually, the ruble in the Soviet time was equal with the dollar. In the Soviet time. Yes. So, the price of this car was approximately $5,000. First of all, you have to collect the money. And next step, you go to the shop with the money. After that, you have to wait 5 years for this car. It was a huge line of waiting. It could be 6 years. People from Bulgaria, one guy told me that his father was waiting 10 years to take this car. He had the money, but it was a line.
coming off. Pretty mad.
It's a dosimeter.
Dosimeter. And here it's 0.15.
Yes, microsieverts, you see? Microsieverts per
Yep.
hour.
And that's not dangerous at all.
No,
How much was it in Kiev?
same.
The same as here.
Yes.
So it's exactly the same here and there. Oh,
It's clean. It means here is clean.
here is clean.
Yes. We will go to the Pripyat city. It will be higher.
Okay.
So we will pass one more checkpoint, and the 10 kilometers zone is much more contaminated.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you can't stay
it
there
will-
for as long, or?
People are walking there
Oh,
every day. It's microsieverts. I told you that the harmless dose, the doses for us from 0.05 till 0.5
Yeah.
are harmless to us.
oh, okay.
If you want to die, you need 6-7 sieverts. One sievert is 1 million microsieverts.
Right, okay.
So you can calculate. Even if it's 1 microsievert, you will spend in exclusion zone today 5 hours. It means you will collect 5 microsieverts. 5 microsieverts.
Which is like 5 millionths of one.
If you want to die, you need 6-7 sieverts.
So that's like,
No chance. You have to live in the red forest.
Right.
The animals, contaminated animals, to eat the soil. And I promised for you, we are doing our stop near the monument of Lenin.
and we've just stopped very briefly to see the last remaining monument of Lenin in Ukraine. All the others have been ripped down, but this one here in the city of Chernobyl still remains. And the reason it hasn't been torn down is because there's no one here left managing the city, so no one to tear it down. And here we have the names of every town and village that had to be abandoned. On every one of these signs is the name of one. They go all the way, pretty much as far as the eye can see. Hannah and I have spent the last 2 nights watching all 5 episodes of the HBO drama Chernobyl, and we were just speaking to our guide Anya about it, and she said it was aired in like May, and by June there was a 40 times increase of visitors to the site and doing the tour. So this is Hotel Chernobyl. We're currently in the city of Chernobyl, which is about, I think, 8 km away from the nuclear plant. The town called Pripyat was the place where all of the workers of the plant stayed and all of their families. So this is actually a little bit further away than that. But this here is where we've just had lunch. But it's also where you can stay if you do a 2-day tour of the exclusion zone. You stay in overnight and you stay, I think there's a couple of hotels, but this is one of the ones where you can stay. Here is a selection of robots that we used in the cleanup process.
That red one is the Japanese.
Which one?
The red one there.
This red one.
Yeah. It lasted 40 seconds
That lasted 40 seconds.
before being melted by radiation.
Wow. Just reached the most contaminated village in the area after the disaster. And ahead of us there's a kindergarten. But she said first we'd find a hotspot for radiation. Have you got anything on the counter yet? Oh, it was like 0.1 before, right? So now it's like 1.6.
Yeah, it's gone higher.
Oh god.
So can you imagine? It will start to grow. Wait. 23. But if you move it, it will be higher. So it means somewhere on the roof, the tiny particle left, and together with the water, with the rains, it fall down somewhere here.
Into the kindergarten.
artificial reservoir of water.
Just by the side of us, we have the artificial reservoir that was created to provide cooling water for the reactors, which are literally over here. This is reactor 4. Pretty crazy to think that that is where it all happened, and now, as you can see, it's in its protective housing. Being inside that housing protects the harmful radiation from escaping. But the reservoir right here, that still has graphite in it and is very radioactive. There's contaminated fish swimming in it, and Anya, our guide, was telling us that there are catfish up to 2 meters still living in it. And where these are the initial 4 reactors, there's a further 2 unfinished reactors over here, 5 and 6, but they were never finished or used. The new Safe Confinement, the sarcophagus that they put around it originally, was only designed to last 30 years. This one was completed in 2017 and is designed to last for 100 years at a cost of 2.2 billion euros. Here's the dosimeter. Time to find the next hotspot. So right now we're literally just on the road. That's our bus that we came in on. You can see it's at like 0.8. And just ahead of us, this is the forest we're not allowed in. You can see it's getting higher. And there we go, alarms are sounding. Pretty crazy that literally just over there is super radioactive. And now we have arrived in Pripyat, the town that was settled to provide workers for the nuclear plant. It was home to 50,000 people until it was evacuated. And you can see abandoned buildings around the place. And we're going to take a couple of hours now just to wander around, explore, find out a little bit more about Pripyat. As you can see, nature has been reclaiming the land of Pripyat because it has been mostly uninhabited for over 30 years now. And here is the supermarket of Pripyat. And really interestingly, even to this day, the military come here and you can see in here loads of holes. That is from bullets being shot at the walls. So we found our way backstage into the huge concert hall of Pripyat, and you can see this is one of the kind of like lighting stacks, obviously crashed down at some point. Just over here there is some huge holes, so deep if you fall down there you are definitely breaking a leg. Probably one of the most iconic places of the whole tour, and that is the amusement park here in Pripyat. It was brand new, scheduled to open on the 1st of May. That was when it was going to have its grand opening, but of course on the 26th of April was the disaster, so it never actually opened.
Yeah. It's over the 500 here.
1,000.
Pretty creepy, even more creepy because apparently a couple of weeks ago some people like broke into the amusement park, came in illegally and cut the wires on the Ferris wheel, so now it kind of just freely moves in the wind, which it didn't used to before, but it like creaks. And so we actually walked over the football field to get here, and now we're standing here.
Standing here in front of tribunes.
And then all of these are the stands. And this down here was the running track, and this the football field. There's a load of homeless dogs that live here in the exclusion zone, and one lady from our tour group bought a load of sausages and has been feeding them and befriending them, and now this one is following our tour group. Look, he's like, I want more sausages! It really feels like we're walking through a forest right now, and it's hard to understand that you're actually walking through what is and was a city. Like, there's a tower block just through here, you can hardly even see it. There's tower blocks running down this side, and it just doesn't feel like it. What's this, Han? Basketball court. Diving pool. Swimming pool. It's time to climb. 16 floors? 16 floors. Wow. I was not expecting this view from Pripyat. You can see far in the distance, this is Reactor 4, and you can see just how much forest land there is all around all of the city now. Well worth the time and the sweat that it took to get up to the top of this abandoned building. Just a warning, this may not be for the faint of heart, but there is also a mummified dog in this building that has been here for over 30 years. Final stop on today's pretty manic tour is a huge Soviet radar. It was erected to be able to detect whether they were being fired on, had a nuclear missile coming towards them. Interesting in relation to Chernobyl, because it drew a quarter of Chernobyl's power that it produced. Despite costing an enormous amount of money, it never really worked properly. A lot of money for something that didn't really work quite as planned, and now they're left with it. Standing here in Siberia, they had another one, and that one they'd managed to blow up and managed to get it to fall down, but here they can't do that because it's so close to the new containment for the reactor. They don't want to set off any bombs nearby because it's only about 10 kilometers away or something. And we are back after a very full day of touring around Chernobyl and the different villages and towns outside it. How did you find it, Han?
Absolutely amazing. It really like exceeded my expectations.
Did it?
Yeah, I think so. Because it was more the variety of stuff that we did.
Like what? What do you mean?
Like, it wasn't just going to abandoned buildings, it was actually like seeing the plant itself, which I didn't realise you could actually do.
Yeah.
Going up the buildings, to the roof, and then the really cool radio thing.
Really impressed with how much we managed to fit in. If anything, I wanted like more time. Definitely recommended. A big day, a lot to do, but we came through the special tests at the end where they test you for the radio contamination, and both of us were clean, so we're feeling good about that. But we're gonna finish this one up here. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yes. Fascinating day.